Hello and thanks for choosing THV 11 on this Thursday. I'm Mackailyn Johnson with a look at the stories we're following today. Now at noon, after a startling admission from the head of the CDC, who says the agency made serious mistakes during the COVID pandemic, today the Biden administration's response to how the agency is handling monkeypox. And parents around the country are feeling the pinch of inflation as they shop for school supplies for their kids heading back to classrooms. We have money-saving tips just ahead. Plus, the Foo Fighters are paying tribute to their late drummer Taylor Hawkins. We have the details on how you can watch in our must-see headlines. But first, meteorologist Nathan Scott is here with us, and I think of that song. The rain is gone, I can see clearly now, however that goes. It is so nice outside. What can we expect as the day goes on?
Good afternoon, Mackailyn. On this Friday Eve, we are seeing the sunshine return, and it is feeling really good out there at this time. So if you have any plans to be outdoors, maybe have lunch outside, look at these temperatures into the upper 70s to lower 80s. Now still some low clouds for you folks in South Arkansas and just some puffy fair weather cumulus clouds for the rest of us. Down into Southeast Arkansas, still watching a few light showers scoot their way through Drew County into the Shea County and Chico counties and southern parts of the state. That's where you can still see the clouds linger around the region. Along with it, there's going to be the potential there could be an isolated shower, but most of us will stay dry. Temperatures today topping out into the mid 80s. It will be turning less humid. Coming up, I'm talking about some warmer temperatures getting into the weekend and also our next chance of maybe a good soaking rain.
Thanks, Nathan. Little Rock police are still trying to find the person who shot a pregnant woman along with her 5-year-old daughter. Both are recovering this afternoon. The shooting happened yesterday in the 1600 block of South Fillmore Street. That's near 12th and University in Little Rock. Police say the mother and daughter were shot while sleeping. It comes just days after a violent weekend where Little Rock had 17 shootings. And the Pine Bluff Police Department is launching an investigation after skeletal remains were discovered in the city. Construction crews discovered the remains Wednesday morning while working on the demolition of the Admiral Benbow Inn. At this time, we do not know the cause of death or identity of the victim, but the body has been sent to the state crime lab for further investigation. And today we should get our first look at the city's full inspection report on Big Country Chateau apartments. This comes as Arkansas Attorney General Leslie Rutledge files a lawsuit against the apartment's owner. The suit alleges mismanagement of rent and utility pay. At this time, the complex still owes thousands of dollars for water, and residents don't know if they'll be cut off next month. The latest numbers from the Centers for Disease Control shows more than 13,500 confirmed monkeypox cases around the country. Natalie Brand is at the White House with more on what the Biden administration is doing to get vaccine doses out to communities that are most vulnerable.
The White House announced that more monkeypox vaccine is on the way. 1.8 million more doses available for ordering starting Monday.
We are also now receiving administration data from jurisdictions, which helps us ensure we are distributing vaccines equitably across the country while also making sure they get to those who need them most.
Part of the strategy will include a pilot program to distribute vaccine at large events geared towards the communities at highest risk.
Up to 50,000 doses from the national stockpile to be made available for Pride and other events that will have high attendance of gay and bisexual men.
Last week, the FDA authorized a plan to stretch out the nation's limited supply of monkeypox vaccine by administering shots 1/5 the dose.
With the announcement, it increased our existing supply significantly without compromising safety or effectiveness.
Today's briefing comes one day after the CDC admitted it made mistakes in how it handled the coronavirus outbreak.
I think it's really important to understand the great work of this agency, but also to admit to areas where we needed to improve.
CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky announced a shakeup at the agency, including internal staffing moves and efforts to speed up data releases. Walensky says lessons learned from the COVID outbreak can help in the battle against monkeypox.
We learned some hard lessons over the last 3 years, and as part of that, it's my responsibility, it's the agency's responsibility to learn from those lessons and do better.
CDC officials hope to finalize reorganization plans and have them approved by early next year. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
The Department of Health and Human Services will have final approval over the CDC's plans to reorganize. And meanwhile, we all know how quickly germs can spread between kids. It's happening in Arkansas with RSV. The respiratory virus is typically spread in the winter, but Arkansas doctors are seeing kids coming down with it during the summer months. An infectious disease doctor at Children's Hospital says it could have something to do with immunity wearing off.
During the early parts of the COVID pandemic, when everybody was wearing masks for everything, nobody was getting sick. And so we really weren't seeing RSV. We went about 1.5 years without seeing very much RSV at all. And once it's shown up, it's shown up at an unusual time.
Dr. Snowden says since there's no viral medication for RSV, we have to just wait it out and let our bodies fight it off over time. Well, THV 11 is back to school central, and the state education department is asking for lawmakers to take up a vote that might help address an ongoing teacher shortage. The rule change would give a provisional license to applicants enrolled in education programs. A decision will be made later this afternoon, and we'll update you once a decision is made. Arkansas is not the only state facing a teacher shortage. Districts across the country are facing the same challenge. A poll from the American Federation of Teachers found job satisfaction is desperately low. According to their survey, many educators are not satisfied with low salaries and are concerned about gun violence in the classroom. Others feel schools have become too politicized. Meanwhile, as parents send their kids back to the classroom, after-school programs will be back in action. Staff at the Bryant Boys and Girls Club have undergone recent trainings to make sure they are prepared for students to return. Leaders say they are seeing a high demand in student applications already, and safety is also a big deal this year. They are requiring anyone picking up a child to have a car tag with the child's name. Another change is that parents will also have limited access to the front desk area.
We've had kids say, hey, where would I hide if an intruder comes in? And our staff know. Our staff immediately know where to go, what to do, and that's important for us.
Safety concerns are on the minds of a lot of parents following recent mass shootings in the country. Since demand is so high, she's urging parents to sign up their kids as slots are filling up quickly this year. And as kids head back to school, families looking for supplies are feeling the inflation pinch. The National Retail Federation says families with students in K through 12 can expect to spend an average of $864 on school supplies this year. That's $168 more than in 2019. Adriana Diaz is in Chicago looking at strategies that can help you save.
This is back to school excitement, and these Chicago kids are getting free school supplies to get ready. The nonprofit Back to School America gave out more than 8,000 supply kits Wednesday.
People are telling me that they've lost their jobs, their home situation changed, they've lost their home.
CEO Matt Kurtzman says the need for the kits and the cost to create them has never been greater.
What single product has gone up most in price?
Paper is the one product that is costing us the most money.
That's one reason their price for supplies has jumped 10%.
The prices have increased ridiculously.
Janila Costing, whose daughter's about to start first grade, says there's also sticker shock in stores.
For a few school supplies, you're easily going to spend around $70 or something.
Is this the most expensive back-to-school season you've seen?
It is for the parents and the teachers.
Kelly Zuiza owns the Classmate, a school supply store, and she says she can barely keep up with price hikes from suppliers.
It's hard because a lot of the companies have increased their prices alone in this calendar year 5 times.
Why are things like paper more expensive?
What's happening is through the pandemic, they shut down a lot of the mills, and so now there's a shortage.
If parents choose to go to one big store without the planning first, I think they're leaving enough money on the table for it to matter.
Kelly Glass writes about parenting for the website Kindred by Parents.
Should parents be getting in the car and going back to school shopping in person, or should they be ordering things online that then get shipped to them?
A mixture of both, right? I do what I call pre-shopping online, seeing what deals the stores have, but also checking inventory, because what we don't want to be doing is hopping around from store to store.
And wasting that gas money.
And wasting that gas because it's expensive.
She also suggests checking apps that offer coupons or cash back on purchases and considering generic brands.
Also, be strategic. Maybe there's a backpack brand that costs more than other brands, but it comes with a lifetime guarantee.
Another idea, connecting with nonprofits that might be giving away supplies.
How much does getting free supplies help? Especially at a time like this.
It helps a lot, especially because there's other things I could be paying for.
What do you think about your supplies?
I like it.
And how excited are you to start first grade?
I'm very excited.
Kelly Glass, who gave us all those suggestions, says there is one key thing parents should not do, and that is stress. She says try to make this a positive and exciting experience to set the tone for your kids this school year. Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Chicago.
And after Trump said that he had 3 passports taken by the FBI, lots of questions were raised about having multiple passports. We verify after the break. Nathan?
Well, we've got some beautiful weather out there for today. I got the latest drought monitor update. I'll have that for you coming up, and also talk about the potential of a wet weather pattern setting up next week.